Good evening, YouTubers. The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another DVD review. And yes, it's time for another family movie review. This time, we're going to look at another family holiday film. I give you The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. And yes, I gotta tell you, this is a very funny movie. And I really love it. This movie is probably one of my favorite all-time Disney holiday films. Anyway, before I start this review, I got two shout-outs to give out. The first one is Leah Baker. Leah, your videos are awesome. Keep up the good work. Make sure to check out her channel. And to my good friend, Jacob Taylor. Thank you very much for giving me a nice comment on my channel, on my review. It really means a lot. So, make sure to check out his channel on YouTube. Okay, now, The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, marks the third and final Santa Claus movie trilogy. Unfortunately, David Krumholtz does not appear in the third film because due to a contract issue, because he was busy doing with the TV show at the time called Numbers, and saw some familiar faces. As you know, Scott and his wife Carol live happily up in the North Pole and expecting the first child arrived. And on Christmas Eve approach. However, when the legendary figures came and warned that the trouble of Jack Frost and his charge with ruining Christmas and freeze all over the place and country. So, he was no holiday or special occasion in his honor. So, as Scott invite their family, Laura and Neil, up and their daughter Lucy up to the North Pole to keep Mrs. Claus company. However, things are not too very pleased on that. That's when Jack Frost started to see the hall of snow globes, an imaginary of Santa's image of world history. And that's when Jack Frost heard the conversation between Scott and Lucy. He stole one of the magical snow globes, which caused him to go back in time. And Jack Frost frees up ruined the entire bakery inside the North Pole. So, Scott told him, I wish he never would have been Santa at all, and sending them both back in time. And that's when discovered the crime, and Jack Frost freezes all the parents. It goes back in time to 1994. He grabbed the original Santa falling coat and makes him get his job. As you know, Jack Frost is now Santa Claus, but for Santa, he is Scott Calvin. He is sent back to the present, became a CEO for this company. Something has changed. Scott never married Carol. Laura was miserable and remarried to Neil, and resulting in their separation. So they went up to the North Pole and find Jack Frost and put the end of Jack Frost's going crazy shenanigans. As Scott told him, that is not Santa. That's an imposter. I am the real Santa. That's one of my favorite scenes in Santa Claus 3. And Scott told him, he used like a pencil recorder, said, I wish I'd never been a Santa at all. Who said that? Jack Frost. I mean, Rudolph. Rudolph's. Yeah. So, they went back around 1994, back to the first appearances, like a stock footage from the first Santa Claus movie, and when he saw Scott restrict Jack to let Scott of 1994 to get his coat, making him Santa again. And then all things are back to normal, and the family has no time to pass their sins. As Scott back as Santa, as Curtis told him that Lucy has been locked in a closet and her parents are freezed. Jack is arrested by elf police. He cannot unfreeze unless he unfroze himself. So Lucy used the gift of Santa, gave a snow globe, and used a warm hug to a snowman and unfreeze. So at the end, the parents are unfreeze and they live happily ever after. Oh, I mentioned to Carol that she's going to have a baby, and that's why they named Buddy Claus. Just 3 hours before they deliver the Christmas gifts. Yes. So that's the end of the movie. Now my thoughts of Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. This movie is one of the fantastic films ever since Disney. And I love when they use stock footage from the first Santa Claus movie. It is fantastic and also got some very funny scenes. Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause gets a holiday 10 out of 10. Best movies yet. Let's take a look over there. It's a very nice cover. 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas. Here's the front, the spine, and the back. The ultimate family adventure for the holidays. Plus some special features right here. Blooper reel, alternate opening, Christmas karaoke, plus a music video from Ali and AJ Mashaka. Yep. Let's take a look inside. Here's the disc for Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. Plus some chapter index. Plus some favorite promos in there. And the movie also co-stars Anne Margaret and Alan Arkin. Yep. If you're a fan of the Santa Claus movies, I would highly recommend to get this movie. Unfortunately, the movie got in mixed reviews, but I enjoyed this movie. Well, that's it for this week's family movie review. If you'd like to rate, comment, and subscribe, do so. Thanks for watching. Take care.